Lady Colin Campbell just delivered the most savage takedown of Meghan Markle we have ever witnessed, and the Duchess of Montecito is reportedly left shaken. The beloved royal commentator didn't hold back when discussing Meghan's latest scandal, a $1,700 dress that mysteriously disappeared from a Variety magazine photo shoot and ended up in her Netflix special. And according to Lady C, this is just the beginning of a pattern that proves Meghan has, quote, very sticky fingers. Here's what happened. Eagle-eyed viewers noticed something shocking while watching the trailer for Meghan's Netflix holiday special, With Love Meghan. There she was, swanning around in a stunning green Galvan dress, looking every bit the lifestyle guru she desperately wants to be. But wait, that dress looked familiar, very familiar. And that's because it was the exact same $1,700 designer piece she wore 3 years ago for her Variety magazine cover shoot back in 2022. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so she liked the dress and bought it. Nothing wrong with that, right? Wrong. Because Meghan didn't buy this dress. She walked out of that photo shoot with it. Just took it. And when confronted about this little theft, her team scrambled to provide the most ridiculous explanation anyone has ever heard. They claimed Meghan was contractually entitled to keep the dress. And get this, she needed to archive it because she's a royal. A royal who apparently archives stolen property. Lady Colin Campbell was not having it. Speaking from her recovery bed after breaking her pelvis, she unleashed an absolutely brutal assessment of Meghan's behavior. Lady C didn't mince words when she said Meghan actually did need to walk away with that dress without paying for it. Because, and this is the key point, she doesn't make any money. The American Riviera Orchard venture? Dead on arrival. The Netflix deals? Cancelled. The Spotify partnership? Toast. Meghan is bleeding money, and according to Lady C, that's exactly why she's helping herself to $1,700 dresses like some kind of high-end shoplifter. But here's where it gets even more devastating. Lady C revealed that this isn't new behavior. Meghan has been walking out of photo shoots with clothes for years, long before she married Harry, long before she had any royal status to hide behind. Industry insiders have been commenting on Meghan's sticky fingers since her Deal or No Deal days. She's allegedly walked out with shoes, jewelry, accessories, you name it. If it wasn't nailed down during a photo shoot, Meghan apparently considered it fair game. The timing of this revelation couldn't be worse for Meghan. She's desperately trying to launch her lifestyle brand while living in a $29 million mansion. And now everyone's asking the obvious question. If you're so successful and wealthy, why are you stealing dresses from magazine photo shoots? But the dress scandal was just the tip of the iceberg. Lady Colin Campbell didn't just stop at calling out the dress theft. She went nuclear on Meghan's entire business empire, or rather the spectacular lack thereof. And her assessment was absolutely savage. According to Lady C, Meghan is so commercially unsuccessful that she literally cannot afford not to steal. The woman is desperate, and it shows. Let's talk about American Riviera Orchard, Meghan's supposedly groundbreaking lifestyle brand. Lady C had the perfect name for it. She doesn't call it American Riviera Orchard, she calls it what it really is, as never. Because according to Lady C, it was never a success. It is never going to be a success. And if it still exists in 2 years, she'll eat her hat. Those are fighting words. But here's the thing. Lady C is absolutely right. The numbers don't lie. Meghan launched this brand with massive fanfare, Instagram teasers, mysterious packages sent to influencers, the whole 9 yards. She was supposed to be the next Martha Stewart, the next Gwyneth Paltrow, the next lifestyle mogul that everyone wanted to emulate. Instead, she's become the next punchline. Her products aren't stocked in any major retailers. They're not even in the Netflix shop, despite her Netflix deal. Think about how humiliating that is. Netflix won't even stock her products in their own store. So where can you buy Meghan's overpriced jam and honey? Soho House. That's right, the same Soho House where she used to hang out before marrying Harry. The same Soho House where she had her first date with Harry. She's gone full circle, and not in the inspiring way she tried to spin it. Lady C absolutely destroyed Meghan's pathetic Instagram video, where she toured this tiny pop-up shop at Soho House in West Hollywood, acting like it was some kind of triumph. Full circle moment, Meghan called it. More like full circle failure. And here's the really damning evidence of just how badly American Riviera Orchard is tanking. Right before Thanksgiving, Meghan sent out a breathless email to all her subscribers promising a big, huge, massive announcement. Everyone was wondering what it could be. A major retail partnership? A celebrity collaboration? An expansion into new products? Nope, 20% off. That's the big announcement. Her $28 pot of honey marked down to $22. Her $14 jar of jam slashed to $11. Let me repeat that. Meghan Markle is offering Black Friday discounts on jam. This is a woman who married into the British royal family, who had the entire world at her feet, who could have leveraged her platform into genuine business success, and she's hawking discounted preserves like some desperate QVC host at 3 in the morning. Lady C called this what it is, a complete and utter commercial disaster. The woman cannot sell water to people dying of thirst. And the evidence of Meghan's sticky fingers goes back further than anyone realized. Lady Colin Campbell dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the royal watching community. The variety dress wasn't an isolated incident, not even close. According to Lady C, Meghan has been walking out of photo shoots with items that don't belong to her for years. And we're not talking about since she became a duchess. We're talking about way back, long before Prince Harry ever laid eyes on her. Lady C revealed that Meghan's sticky fingers have been the subject of industry gossip for over a decade. She's walked out of photo shoots with shoes, with accessories, with jewelry. Basically, if it looked good and wasn't literally bolted to the floor, Meghan apparently considered it hers for the taking. And the most damning part, people in the industry have been commenting on this behavior since before she got famous. This goes all the way back to her struggling actress days. Now here's where it gets interesting. When you're a celebrity doing a photo shoot, there are very clear rules about what happens to the clothes afterward. Sometimes, and this is true, brands will gift items to celebrities as a thank you. It's great publicity for them. But here's the key, it's always explicitly stated beforehand. The brand says, hey, we'd love for you to keep this. It's a gift. What Meghan allegedly did was completely different. She just helped herself and walked out. Richard Eden, the royal editor who broke this story wide open, confirmed that he's been covering royal and celebrity fashion for decades, and there are very specific protocols. Sometimes celebrities are invited to choose items from a shoot. Other times it's absolutely clear that everything goes back. And according to multiple sources, Meghan has walked out of shoots where it was crystal clear nothing was supposed to leave the building. But when confronted with this evidence, Meghan's team went into full panic mode. They released a statement that was so ridiculous, so convoluted, so obviously made up on the spot that even her most devoted supporters were scratching their heads. According to her spokesperson, Meghan was contractually entitled to keep the variety dress. Why? Because she needed to archive it. Archive it, like she's running the Smithsonian Museum of Meghan Markle's greatest fashion hits. The excuse gets even better. Her team claimed that by keeping the dress, Meghan was actually doing Variety a favor. You see, if she didn't take it, the dress might fall into the hands of the public and get auctioned off. So really, Meghan stealing a $1,700 dress was an act of service. She was protecting the integrity of the photo shoot. She's basically a fashion hero when you think about it. Royal experts immediately called out this nonsense. As former magazine editors pointed out, if a brand wants a celebrity to keep something, they just give it to them. There's no elaborate archiving excuse needed. You don't need a convoluted explanation about protecting dresses from the public. But when confronted with the evidence, Meghan's team scrambled for damage control. Let's break down just how insulting Meghan's archive excuse really is, because Lady Colin Campbell and Richard Eden absolutely demolished it. The claim that Meghan needs to archive her wardrobe because she's a royal is so laughable, so disconnected from reality, that it actually proves how out of touch she's become. First of all, Meghan is barely a royal anymore. She quit, she walked away, she moved to California and spent the last 4 years trashing the institution at every opportunity. She did a tell-all interview with Oprah. She supported Harry's memoir that attacked his family. She's made it crystal clear she wants nothing to do with royal duties. So this idea that she's dutifully archiving her wardrobe for posterity like she's Queen Elizabeth? Please, the delusion is off the charts. But here's where Lady C really twisted the knife. Actual working royals, the ones who actually show up and do their jobs, they don't get to keep everything they wear. When Catherine, Princess of Wales, borrows a designer gown for an engagement, it goes back. When Princess Anne wears something for a photo shoot, it gets returned. There are strict protocols about gifts and borrowed items, and the working royals follow them to the letter. They understand that being photographed in designer clothes is a privilege, not a shopping spree. Richard Eden pointed out something crucial that completely destroys Meghan's defense. He's covered royal fashion for over 50 years, and he's never heard of a former working royal who quit their duties claiming they need to archive borrowed photo shoot clothes. It's absurd. If archiving was really the concern, the items would go to an actual archive, a museum, a royal collection. They wouldn't end up in Meghan's closet in Montecito appearing in her Netflix specials 3 years later. And let's talk about the sheer audacity of this excuse coming from someone living in a $29 million mansion. Meghan and Harry's California estate has 16 bathrooms. 16! They have more bathrooms than most people have rooms, and we're supposed to believe that Meghan needed to keep a $1,700 dress because she couldn't afford to buy it herself. The woman who spent hundreds of thousands on her wardrobe during her brief time as a working royal, the same person who had a $500,000 baby shower in New York, Lady C made the point perfectly. This isn't about archiving, this isn't about preserving history. This is about a woman who's hemorrhaging money and can't resist taking freebies wherever she can get them. The sticky fingers that got her shoes and accessories from photo shoots in her struggling actress days never went away. they just got more expensive taste. The comparison to actual royals makes Meghan look even worse. They return borrowed items. They follow protocols. They understand that their position comes with responsibilities, not entitlements. Meghan apparently missed that memo. Yet this wasn't even the most humiliating revelation about Meghan's finances. The dress scandal led to an even more devastating revelation about just how far Meghan Markle has fallen. And Lady Colin Campbell didn't hold back when discussing what might be the most humiliating moment of Meghan's post-royal career: the Soho House pop-up shop. Let that sink in for a moment. A woman who married a prince, who had the entire world watching her every move, who could have leveraged her platform into genuine business empire, is now reduced to selling overpriced jam in a tiny corner of a Soho House in West Hollywood. Meghan tried to spin this as some kind of triumph. She posted this cringeworthy video on Instagram, swanning through the Soho House location like she was opening Harrods. She called it a full circle moment, and you know what? Lady C agreed. It absolutely is a full circle moment. Meghan started as a Soho House girl, hanging out there trying to network her way up the social ladder. And now, after marrying into royalty, after moving to California, after launching her big lifestyle brand, she's ended up right back where she started, a Soho House girl. The video itself was painful to watch. There's Meghan, hair extensions flowing, pointing at her products displayed on a single shelf unit, a tiny corner, not even a dedicated store, not even a proper pop-up with its own space, just a corner, one shelf, a few jars of jam and honey that nobody's buying. She's gesturing at it like she's unveiling the crown jewels, talking about how excited she is, how special this is, how it's such a good day. Meanwhile, anyone with functioning eyeballs can see this is an absolute disaster. Lady C absolutely eviscerated the whole thing. She pointed out that Meghan had clearly envisioned American Riviera orchard products being stocked in Whole Foods, in major department stores, in upscale retailers across America. Instead, she's got a friend giving her a dedicated corner of a space at Soho House. This isn't success. This is failure with an Instagram filter on it. This is desperation dressed up as achievement. And the Soho House connection makes it even more pathetic. Meghan made a huge deal in her Instagram post about how Soho House was where she had her very first date with Harry. Her love story with Ike, as she calls him, started at a Soho House restaurant. So now she's not just selling products there, she's commodifying her relationship, turning her so-called love story into a marketing angle for jam that won't sell. Richard Kay made a brilliant observation. If American Riviera Orchard was the runaway success Meghan desperately wants people to believe it is, if products were flying off shelves, if there was genuine demand, she wouldn't be stuck in a Soho House corner. Major retailers would be fighting for the opportunity to stock her products, but they're not, because nobody wants them. And the timing of this dress scandal couldn't be worse. Lady Colin Campbell made a prediction that should terrify Meghan Markle. She looked directly into the camera and declared, "If American Riviera Orchard still exists in 2 years, I'm a bar of soap and a monkey's uncle." That's how certain Lady C is that this entire venture is doomed. And based on the evidence, she's absolutely right. Let's look at the cold hard facts. Meghan launched American Riviera Orchard with massive fanfare back in March. She sent out mysterious packages to influencers and celebrities. She had a sleek Instagram page. She teased products for months, building anticipation. The internet was buzzing. And then nothing. Absolutely nothing. No major retail partnerships materialized. No celebrity collaborations emerged. No expansion into new products happened. Just silence. When products finally did appear, they were shockingly overpriced and available in such limited quantities that they sold out in minutes. But here's the thing that Lady C and Richard Eden both pointed out. If you sell out within minutes, it doesn't mean you have a successful product. It means you don't have enough stock. It means nobody has faith in your ability to move inventory. It's the oldest trick in the book. Create artificial scarcity to generate buzz. Except the buzz fizzled out immediately. The products themselves are insulting. $28 for a pot of honey. $14 for a jar of jam. Actually, wait, it's not even jam. It legally has to be called spread because it doesn't meet the standards to be labeled as jam. Meghan is charging $14 for spread. Let that sink in. You can go to any grocery store and buy artisanal, organic, locally sourced jam for $5 or $6. But Meghan thinks her name is worth an extra $8. And clearly, the public disagrees. Because if people were actually buying this stuff, Meghan wouldn't be offering 20% discounts before the brand has even properly launched. Lady C made this point beautifully. If American Riviera Orchard was genuinely successful, everyone would be stocking it. Major retailers would be clamoring for shelf space. Celebrity chefs would be endorsing it. Food bloggers would be raving about it. Instead, it's crickets. The most damning evidence? Netflix won't even stock American Riviera Orchard products in their own shop. Think about that. Meghan has a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. She's producing content for them, and they still won't put her products in their Netflix shop. That tells you everything you need to know about how the entertainment industry views Meghan's business acumen. Even her own partners don't believe in her products enough to stock them. Lady C summed it up perfectly. Meghan thought she was special, She thought people were fascinated by her. She didn't understand that it was never about her personally. It was about the role she was playing. It was about being part of the royal family. Once she walked away from that, she became just another celebrity trying to sell overpriced lifestyle products in an oversaturated market. But Meghan's money troubles run even deeper than failed jam sales. The dress scandal opened the floodgates to a much bigger conversation that Meghan and Harry have been desperately trying to avoid: the G word, grifter. And Lady Colin Campbell didn't dance around it. She called Meghan exactly what she is: a crass opportunist and exploiter who uses people, charities, and now apparently magazine photo shoots to get what she wants without paying for it. Remember that Spotify executive who called Harry and Meghan out after their podcast deal collapsed? He didn't mince words. The term he used sent shockwaves through the industry. And now, with this dress theft coming to light, people are connecting the dots on a pattern of behavior that's impossible to ignore. Meghan and Harry have built their entire post-royal life on the generosity of wealthy friends who provide them with lifestyles they can no longer afford themselves. Let's talk about Victoria Jackson, the cosmetics billionaire who's apparently bankrolling significant portions of Harry and Meghan's life. This woman has provided them with free use of her stunning New York City brownstone, the very same brownstone where Meghan did her recent Harper's Bazaar photo shoot, posing like she owned the place. She didn't. It was borrowed, just like the variety dress, just like so much else in Meghan's carefully curated image. But it doesn't stop there. Victoria Jackson has also reportedly provided private jets for Harry and Meghan's travel. Private jets, the same couple who lecture the rest of us about climate change and carbon footprints, are zipping around on borrowed private planes. And before they attended Kris Jenner's party in Los Angeles, sources reveal they stayed at another one of Victoria's properties. Free of charge, naturally. Lady C absolutely nailed the core issue here. What is Victoria Jackson getting out of this arrangement? Well, Meghan has been seen using Victoria's cosmetic products and giving them subtle promotion on her social media. It's a quid pro quo arrangement dressed up as friendship. Victoria gets the cachet of having a duchess, even a failed one, associated with her brand. Meghan gets free accommodation and transportation. It's transactional. It's calculated. And it proves that Meghan and Harry cannot maintain their lifestyle without constant handouts. The pattern is undeniable. They used the Invictus Games charity to fund their lavish trips. Sophie Chandelora complained publicly about how Harry and Meghan were billing expenses to Sentable charity to the detriment of actual charitable work. Their Archwell Foundation accounts show that very little money actually goes to good causes. Most of it goes to expenses. In Delaware, where they're registered, you're allowed to spend 95% on expenses as long as 5% goes to charity, and that's exactly what they're doing. Richard Eden made a crucial point. Harry and Meghan constantly try to piggyback on good causes and on goodness to prove how good they are, but all they're proving is how appalling they are. They use charities as expense accounts. They use wealthy friends as personal banks. And then Lady C delivered the final crushing blow. Lady Colin Campbell unleashed perhaps her most savage criticism yet, and it's centered on something that makes everyone deeply uncomfortable: Meghan's relentless commercial exploitation of Harry's children. And Lady C didn't hold back. She declared that if ever there was somebody who indulged in the crassest commercial exploitation of her husband's children, it is Meghan Markle. Without any doubt, the Thanksgiving photo shoot was the latest example of this disturbing pattern. There was Meghan at a Los Angeles food kitchen, supposedly doing charitable work, with Archie and Lilibet in tow. But here's the thing: the children's faces were carefully obscured, backs turned, heads cropped out of frame, just visible enough to spark curiosity. As royal commentator Tom Sykes brilliantly put it, the kids are being sold by the inch. Tom Sykes wrote a scathing piece that absolutely demolished Meghan's pretense of protecting her children's privacy. He called them Meghan's carefully curated clickbait kids, back for a Thanksgiving special. And he's absolutely right. These children re-emerge in the Sussexes' preferred style, half-obscured, artfully cropped, just visible enough to generate engagement and headlines, but never enough to actually satisfy public curiosity. Lady C made the point that resonates with everyone who sees through Meghan's game. If you really didn't want your children's identities known, you wouldn't put their images on the internet, period. But that's the point. Their images aren't being withheld for privacy, they're being managed for value. It's a cynical marketing strategy that allows Meghan to posture as a hyper-protective mother while still releasing images of her kids as content. And here's the most damning evidence. Between various angles, glimpses, birthday shots, accidentally on-purpose leaks, and Instagram stories, anyone could reconstruct what these children look like. AI could do it in seconds. So the privacy excuse is complete nonsense. What Meghan is actually doing is creating artificial scarcity around images of her children to maximize their commercial value when she does release them. But wait, it gets worse. During this Thanksgiving charity appearance, Meghan and Harry weren't wearing the charity's clothing or merchandise. They were wearing Archwell gear, their own foundation's branding. They literally used a charity event to promote their own organization. They turned what should have been about highlighting the good work of others into a self-promotion opportunity with the slogan "Show Up, Do Good" plastered everywhere. Lady C asked a question that nobody can answer. Who else in the public arena, whether royalty, aristocracy, or celebrity, uses their children in such a frankly commercial way as Meghan Markle uses Harry's children? Think about it. Catherine and William's children appear at official events, but their images aren't drip-fed for commercial purposes. Even celebrity parents who are far less private don't engage in this kind of calculated manipulation. The whole thing turns stomachs, as Lady C put it, not only because it's exploitative, but because it's so frankly dishonest. Meghan thinks if she's dishonest enough, people won't see through her game. But perhaps the most savage moment came when Lady C addressed Meghan's hygiene. Just when you thought Lady Colin Campbell couldn't get more savage, she delivered a takedown that left everyone speechless. She didn't just attack Meghan's business failures or her exploitation of children. She went after something even more basic: Meghan's complete and utter lack of hygiene when it comes to food preparation. And for someone positioning herself as a lifestyle and cooking expert, this is absolutely devastating. The evidence is right there for everyone to see. Meghan posted a video of herself preparing a Thanksgiving turkey, presumably trying to show off her domestic goddess credentials. Except instead of looking like Martha Stewart, she looked like someone who's never taken a single food safety course in her entire life. There she was, hands all over raw turkey, and covered, absolutely covered in jewelry, rings on multiple fingers, bracelets jangling, all while handling raw poultry. Lady C was absolutely appalled. She pointed out that nobody cooks with jewelry on. Nobody. It's dangerous for the people you're cooking for, because bacteria gets trapped under rings and in the crevices of bracelets, but it's also dangerous for the person wearing the jewelry. If Meghan had the slightest nick on her skin and got turkey substance stuck under those rings, she could end up with a serious infection. This is basic food safety. This is common sense. But it gets worse. The hair. Dear God, the hair. Lady C had the most hilarious and cutting observation. She mentioned that Meghan bought the hair of those 1,000 Turkish virgins, referring to Meghan's extensions, and apparently it came with an antisepticized guarantee so that it's safe for her to drop into the food she's preparing. The image is revolting. Those long flowing extensions that Meghan refuses to tie back, hanging loose while she's chopping vegetables, seasoning meat, preparing meals. Multiple people in the comments pointed out the sheer unhygienic nature of having long hair loose while cooking. One person who claimed to be a Toronto realtor said, "Tie your hair up. No one should be volunteering in a public kitchen, chopping vegetables, baking cookies, serving up meals to the needy with long hair struggling into the food. Disgusting lack of hygiene and total lack of respect." And she's absolutely right. Emma Wolf made the same point. The Thanksgiving charity kitchen appearance showed Meghan with her extensions hanging everywhere while prepping food. Gross was the word she used. Meanwhile, even the little girl in the photos, presumably Lilibet, had at least some attempt made to keep her hair back. But not Meghan. Never Meghan, because Meghan cannot be separated from her hard-earned proof of arrival. As Lady C brilliantly put it, the jewelry, the hair, everything about Meghan's food preparation screams amateur hour. And this is the woman who wants to be taken seriously as a lifestyle expert. This is the woman charging $28 for honey and $14 for spread. She can't even follow basic food hygiene protocols. And then Lady C delivered the final crushing blow. Lady Colin Campbell delivered her final, most devastating assessment of Meghan Markle, and it's the kind of statement that will echo through royal commentary for years to come. She looked directly into the camera and declared that Meghan has gone beyond being an embarrassment to the royal family and the British nation. She is an embarrassment to humanity. Let that sink in. An embarrassment to humanity itself. And the evidence supporting Lady C's brutal verdict is overwhelming. Everything Meghan touches turns to failure. The Spotify deal? Cancelled after one season. The Netflix projects? Struggling to gain traction. The Archwell Foundation, barely moving any money to actual charitable causes. American Riviera Orchard, dead on arrival with products nobody wants to buy even at 20% discounts. Her credibility, shattered by revelations of stolen dresses and sticky fingers going back over a decade. Lady C made the most important observation about why Meghan keeps failing. She thought she was special. She genuinely believed people were fascinated by her personally, that her star power would translate into business success. But she didn't understand the fundamental truth that Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth tried to teach every royal. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's about the role you're playing. It's about the role you're playing. It's about the institution you represent. Meghan couldn't grasp this concept. She walked away from the one thing that made her globally relevant, her role as a working royal, and assumed her personal brand would carry her to new heights. Instead, she's reduced to selling overpriced jam in a corner of Soho House and stealing dresses from magazine photo shoots because she can't afford to buy them herself. The comparison to Harry's situation is equally tragic. Lady C has consistently warned that Harry and Meghan's relationship mirrors the disaster of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. A man ends up marrying the wrong woman, a woman who turns out to be opportunistic, exploitative, commercially driven, and it ends in disaster. We're watching it happen in real time with the Sussexes. Richard Kay made a chilling prediction. After what happened with Prince Andrew being stripped of his titles, after what happened with the grandchildren of the Queen of Denmark losing their titles, Harry and Meghan should be considering their positions very carefully. The royal family has shown they're willing to take drastic action against members who bring embarrassment and scandal. How long before Harry faces the same reckoning? So here's the question for you. Can Meghan Markle ever recover from this exposure? Can American Riviera Orchard survive when everyone now knows she's stealing dresses and exploiting children for commercial gain? Can her credibility be salvaged after Lady Colin Campbell's systematic dismantling of every aspect of her post-royal life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed because the next revelation about Meghan and Harry is going to be even more explosive. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next.